Dislike the thought of your address, phone number, and your family's information being sold online? Imagine having your own private detective who scours the internet for data brokers selling your personal info. When they find it in the wrong hands, they help you take it back. McAfee Plus is just like that, a private detective helping you take control of your data and privacy. Get all-in-one protection with McAfee Plus and learn how to protect your everything at McAfee.com/podcast.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to help you unlock your true potential. With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath learning format, you gain relevant skills you can apply to your career right away. Earn your degree from an accredited university and be confident in the quality of your education. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu. Capella University is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. Learn more at capella.edu/accreditation.
Yes, that's right. That means every person who just heard this, who is in a Genius Room, knows exactly what I just played.
Oh, what does it mean? I don't know.
Oh my God. Welcome to the Think Different podcast. I am your host, Will the TLD Vafidas, along with Vacation Tim, who clearly has no idea what was going on in the Genius Room at any point in his entire career. Tim, how you doing?
Yeah, I actually never worked at Apple. This is all a lie.
So the song I played, for anybody who works in the Genius Room, we always did these loops that would run forever. So we'd always run like a YouTube video, and we'd run them for like 10 hours straight. The song I just played is called Epic Sax Guy.
Oh,
look up the video.
Now I remember.
Jesus.
I was never on repair, though.
What's that?
I was really never on repair, so I would never.
Yeah, but you heard it because you know I played that song loud every time I played it, and you know the other admin that worked with you loved it, but everybody else hated it. So it's one of the most epic songs. So look up Epic Sax Guy if you haven't seen the video. This is something you want to be at Halloween. But
yeah,
the problem is only people that are geniuses know what this is.
Right. And I think until the that Toto song came out, when that Toto song came out, that's all we played in the Genius Room.
Oh God, that's all because of one particular person who played frickin' Toto all the time.
It was really funny.
Well, it's been one hell of a week. We have a lot to talk about, but before we do, we already know all the plugs. Got to get in there. The Think Different Podcast Facebook page, Twitter at ThinkDiffPod, and a great ad that's being run for this episode made by Tim.
Thank you. And
using our memojis.
Yeah, our memojis. They will be showcasing this weekend.
All right, so I hope you guys check it out. But we have a lot to go into. So first, we're going to start off with Tim's segment that he just read this article literally 2 minutes before going on air. It is time, once again, for the news.
The news.
Breaking news.
All right. So what we got? We got Apple's
yeah, what we got here?
What we got? I got a little bit for you, a little bit for him. Apple's new Mac Pro to be made in Texas. That's right, folks. As part of its commitment to U.S. economic growth, Apple today confirmed that its newly redesigned Mac Pro will be manufactured in Austin, Texas. Now, for those who don't know, the Mac Pro has been made and manufactured in the same Austin facility since 2013. But a lot of people were speculating, and there's this whole movement of Apple's commitment to investing about $350 billion in the U.S. economy by 2023. So that's how they're going to take a step forward to achieving that goal. So right now, last year alone, the company spent over $60 billion with more than 9,000 domestic suppliers across the country, including at manufacturing locations in 36 of the 50 states, which is pretty awesome. They're investing in about 2.4 million jobs in all 50 states, including 90,000 direct employees. This is pretty cool. Again, this was announced last year at the WWDC, and we've only seen the very expensive stand with it, but the product has not been officially sold yet.
And in Texas, they're going to be assembling them there.
That's correct.
Right. So that's what, yeah, they've been doing that with the other Mac Pro. I'm glad they're doing this, and I'm really looking forward to this Mac Pro. You know, it's been kind of hush-hush because of everything else that's going on, but I'm really looking forward to going to Apple Store and seeing that Mac Pro in action.
Do you think they'll have it on display?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think, not yet. I don't see a reason to have it out there yet, but October is always a rumor the next time we're going to see a keynote, and that's probably when we're going to hear about the Mac Pro's actual release date. So it's really, really exciting stuff. And then they're going to have them in the stores. I'm glad they're still assembling it here. That's great for us. It's easier probably to get parts. It's probably easier to fix.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I think it's all good having it done here.
Hey, this is Adam Carolla from the Adam Carolla Show. BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs. Whether it's pro or college hoops, BetOnline has it all throughout the entire college and pro hoop season. BetOnline has up-to-the-minute odds, stats, trends you can follow all season long. Follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props as well. BetOnline is one of the world's best wagering platforms anytime, anywhere, and you can follow from your desktop or your mobile device. So, head to the website today and become part of the team. Bet online. Bet online. The game starts here at Bet Online.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to help you unlock your true potential. With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath learning format, you gain relevant skills you can apply to your career right away. Earn your degree from an accredited university and be confident in the quality of your education. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu. Capella University is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. Learn more at capella.edu/accreditation.
Because I had a lot of things going on this week, I was going to go to the Apple Store. I was going to get an iPhone to try out. I did absolutely none of those things. It was a rough week for me and my family personally, but this helps me get off of all the things that are going on. But luckily enough, let's just talk about what actually was released and what the feedback has been across the board. So, Tim, what would you say the number one thing that you have heard or read is like the number one thing people really like about this new iPhone?
It's got to be the battery life. For the people that invested in the iPhone 11 Pro and iPhone 11 Pro Max, I've heard some people get almost 2 days out of it. People on a single charge get a day and a half. There's not much of a difference between the battery life from the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max, but that's definitely one of the highest features. And then also the camera. That's mainly what a lot of people have been talking about. Is that
I said one thing, Tim.
Oh, sorry.
Because I was setting myself up for the other thing. Oh, my God. I asked you to do one thing, and you just messed it up again. I asked you for one thing.
Sorry.
Yes,
sorry,
battery
Master.
life. We know the battery life. The iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max definitely can increase 4 and 5 hours. Not so much on the 11 from the 10R. I think it's like an hour difference on that. But the footage that I'm seeing from this camera is unbelievable. Like, for me, it makes my mirrorless camera look almost like almost cursed. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
as far as the quality goes in this little camera. Now, I will tell you, you still need like additional equipment. Like, I would tell you to get a stabilizer. Like, DJI has an Osmo mobile stabilizer. For $150, you could buy one. Great investment for that, and you could take amazing photos and videos just having that there and just hitting the button to record and take photos on the Osmo. It's like a perfect camera replacement.
Yeah. Again, it looks awesome. That fun video, the commercial that Apple's running currently with the dog showing the different lenses is pretty funny, but also shows how in-depth the camera could be. And also the night mode shooting. Well, that's huge for, especially for like weddings that you're doing and stuff, like in a low light atmosphere. Perfect for that.
That's one of the reasons why I want to get it, is to enhance my videography and even more. I mean, right now the iPhone, I'll be honest, the iPhone XS, a lot of people can't tell when I'm shooting my mirrorless camera and shooting with the iPhone. Honestly, you really can't tell. Let's talk about the main things to talk about. So we have the new color of the green that's on the iPhone 11 Pro. We obviously have the new colors on the iPhone 11. The processor is the same in both. Nothing is really different about that. We have the triple camera, the night mode, and then remember later on we're going to have the deep fusion that's coming out later on. The machine learning where it learns pixel by pixel, eliminating noise and movement, trying to make that better. Faster charging. That's a big one too.
Yeah.
From what I read, not very long to charge it back up. Remember, also included is the new 18-watt USB-C to Lightning charger. That's great for me because I have a MacBook Pro. They have the new Face ID that's able to work better at different angles, better water resistance. But yeah, the camera lens. I watched a parody video, on the iPhone 11 Pro. It was to the song of Old Town Road.
Oh, Old Town Road, yeah.
There's a guy that his name is Brian Tong. You might have heard of him. He used to work for CNET. He was an Apple employee. He made a song literally on the Osmo and on the iPhone 11 Pro, and it looks fantastic. Especially with the wide-angle lens. He was using the wide-angle lens. You have to be very creative on when to use what lens because the wide-angle does not have stabilization built into it. So it's very important to know that if you're going to want the stabilization feature, you have to use the wide angle and the telephoto, but you can't use the ultra wide for that. The stabilization is not going to be great. So for video wise, you have to be. That's why I think the Osmo is a great accessory to this.
That's a really great point to point out.
Yeah, a lot of people won't know that, but overall, the reviews look good. People like the frosting on the back now, the matte frosting that's on the back of it, that they only have the Apple logo now. Overall, everyone seems to be very happy with it. I haven't heard too much about the 11 getting a lot of great praise. It's mostly been about the Pro.
Yeah, it's mostly about the Pro. If you want to upgrade your phone this year and you don't want to spend all the money on the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max, the iPhone 11 has all these amazing features that the 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max have at such an amazing price. At $699, it makes it so easy for you to purchase a phone that has high quality specs at a cheap price. iPhone 11, I mean, they're TechRadar, CNET, Macworld, they're all calling it the best Apple iPhone bang for your buck. That's been all the headlines for it. Remember, it still has the LCD screen. It's not something that's usually talked about. It's never a spec that we shared in the Apple store when we were employees, was the RAM processor on it. So the old phones, they all had around a 3 gigabyte processor. This one has up to a 4 gigabyte RAM processor, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Apple never reveals that stupid little thing because honestly, people have a hard time understanding what RAM is now. Yeah. And you want to explain it on an iPhone? Get the hell out of here. They don't even know what RAM means now. So let me ask you, Tim, what iPhone would you say is the right person to go from what class to the iPhone 11?
I mean, everyone should upgrade from the iPhone 7. Like, I had a friend reach out to me the other day saying, hey, why haven't you guys reviewed all the new iPhones yet? And I said, it's coming. It's in an episode. It's releasing this week. And he said, okay, good. I'm going to look forward to listening to it because he still has the iPhone 7 and he's debating on which one to upgrade to. And I said, dude, get anything but an iPhone 7. And he's been stuck with it and he has a lot of problems with it, as a lot of iPhone 7 users do.
Everyone has had a problem with that damn phone.
So, I mean, I even said iPhone 8 is even a better upgrade than iPhone 7. But if you're really looking for something new...
You have to get into the Face ID now. I mean, honestly, using Face ID is much better than anything else. He could go with a 10R if he really wanted to. Everything from the 7 has been upgraded. You got 2 lenses now. You have a bigger screen. You have much more battery life. Everything you're doing, everything is better.
Yeah.
For me, that's why I think the 10R is really... It's weird because it's actually still really good. I just think that for $100 more, you might as well get the 2 lenses and the better working device.
Yeah. So, Tom, if you're listening to this episode, this is your advice.
Think about it right now. And by the way, if his phone is in perfect condition, now I actually looked up a trade-in value. His phone would have a $150 trade-in value if everything is good on it. So they don't ask for the box or any other cables or nothing like that. Bring in your phone to an Apple store. As of right now, iPhone 7, you could trade in and get $150 towards a trade-in for it. Now, anywhere else you go, it could be very similar to that, but I think Apple's prices are pretty close to what is expected.
But it's also that convenience. You're going to the Apple store, you're trading in your phone, you get a new phone. It's that convenience of just giving it in, getting that new phone the same day. Where like the other programs, it's like you can sell it to them. You gotta have your phone without a couple days, and to buy another phone, you know what I mean, to wait for the funds to come back. With the selling it in store, you automatically get the funds applied to your next purchase.
And for an iPhone 11 Pro, Tim, who is the right person to upgrade? Now, obviously, I'm the right example. I'm a videographer. I'm a photographer by trade. I would utilize this device better than anybody else, especially some of the other features that are coming out later on, and especially with the idea of filming with all 3 cameras at the same time, which all these other phones, by the way, are going to be able to do. But just having that 4K quality is worth it.
Yeah, I mean, not to throw out competitors, but I think there's a lot of people today that are on the borderline of, Google Pixel, the new Samsung phones, the new iPhones. If I want better cameras, if I want better this. The argument always for the Google Pixel was like, it always has this better camera, a lot better resolution, stuff like that. Well, now the iPhone 11 Pro has that and stomps it because it has a better OS system, has a better ecosystem, better battery life. Everything is trumping now these Pixels and the Samsung phones. It almost attracts these people, like I like to call them the in-betweeners, where they're on the fence of, which phone I should go for. I think the iPhone 11 Pro is for those type of users.
It's expensive, so just be very aware. This is a lot of money. And my advice to you, this is a little thing a lot of people don't know, going to an Apple store, the advantage. The iPhone upgrade program, some of the advantages of doing it there, and this is probably my favorite one, you are not tied down to the carrier. And that's a lot of people do not know that. So when you go to the store, you have an option. You could do Apple's program as far as payment system, or you could go with your carrier. However, when you go with your carrier, you are tied down to your carrier for 2 years. With iPhone, if you're planning on staying an iPhone customer forever, it makes an easy decision to go to the Apple store and use their program. Because right now, if you were to buy, I'm going to use the iPhone 11 Pro as an example so that everyone can understand. If you were to go to the Apple store and do it, it's $41.62 a month. That would be for the iPhone 11 Pro with the 64 gig model. And then you can go to $47 for $256, $56 for $512. And as long as you're going to be staying an iPhone user, then that makes the best sense. Because unless there's some kind of deal that the carrier is doing that we are not doing.
There's no such thing as carrier upgrades anymore. There's no such thing as I need to wait X amount of months for my upgrade. That doesn't exist in carriers anymore. And they've all transitioned to this model, monthly payments or paying the phone outright. So they each, like Verizon, I'm a Verizon customer, so they have a model very similar to the iPhone upgrade program where you can upgrade every year, paying monthly, and then you just got to give the phone back after the year to trade into the other, to get the new phone. But there's no, I pay $299 for this phone and I have it locked in for 2 years, then I wait for that upgrade and I get to upgrade again. That doesn't exist anymore. And
another smart idea, use AppleCare to pay for it because you get 3% back on the purchase each month. Because you could do that. That's
for iPhone upgrade program or just Verizon and AT&T plans?
No. That is for the iPhone. Remember, you're paying Apple when you're doing the iPhone upgrade program or the iPhone payment program or a one-time payment. That is going to give you 3% daily cash back. In fact, on Apple.com, they actually have that on there. So it's a little slight thing. So you're going to get money back, 3% cash back on each time that you're paying your monthly bill. So
that's nice.
So think about that. That entices people, I think, to also apply for the card.
Yep.
So I think that pretty much settles it with the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11. All the specs are online. There's also a lot of great people who review them. They will be able to give you a deeper dive review on it. Now, let's talk about Apple Arcade, because that is something we did do. We upgraded to iOS 13. How was your upgrade, Tim? I know you were afraid to upgrade.
Yeah, I was afraid that I was going to brick my phone. But no, it's good. No, I had no problems with the upgrade.
Oh, good, Tim. Thank God. I'm just so happy everything's okay.
Yeah, I love dark mode or night mode, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, dark mode's nice. So it is definitely something people like. I mean, it's definitely convenient. It's less on the eyes. I've been using dark mode ever since. I haven't gone back and switched back to the mode.
Once you go black, never go back, right?
I have never gone black. So anyway, Let's talk about some of the games that they download. So we signed up for Apple Arcade. Remember, we're going to get this 1 month for free. So it's a free trial. And then after that, it's $4.99 a month. Now, I set a reminder to cancel it just in case I'm going to cancel it. So one day before.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, so I did that. Now, or I already did that. So let's talk about some of the games. So first off, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is go to the App Store. It's already built in there, Apple Arcade. You sign up, and then you look at all the different games that are in there. And you download them just like you would an app. And then you open them up. It automatically always says Apple Arcade right when you open up every single app. And then again, you play the game. I will tell you, Tim, and you're probably going to agree with me, my favorite game is this Hot Lava app.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like the game, like Hot Lava, the ground is lava when you were a kid, and they made it into a game. I think it's just so. I think it's hilarious. Yeah.
And they did a whole promo video. You have to watch the promo video. So almost like explaining like it was an episode or a season that happened already, and it's all like over the top, ridiculous, and it's great. It's like, and the game actually is fun. I've been playing it, and I'm really enjoying the game.
Yeah. I played that. I played the Sonic Racing, which is a little bit hard with controls.
Yes.
And I played What the Golf because I liked the name. It was kind of silly. What I'll say about Apple Arcade and the games. Now, I want to preface with this. I'm not a gamer. I'm not very much into games. I prefer, in a technology world, to be off my phone than not. I feel like Apple Arcade, all these games are geared towards teenagers and children and kids, which is okay. I mean, that's their market, right? Like, they're going to beg their mommy and daddy to pay for that $4.99 a month where they can get unlimited games. And to a parent, that's a no-brainer because now they don't have to pay for the in-app purchases. They'll have a library of all these games that they can monitor and see. I know this was not possible and this was probably never in their framework, but would have been cool if you downloaded Apple Arcade, right? And it was separate from the App Store. So Apple Arcade was its own app. All of the apps were built into Apple Arcade. So you just go to the one.
Next iOS, I guarantee that's happening.
Like, that's got to be so easy because I don't. Look at me. Like, I downloaded 3 games for Apple Arcade and it's already taken up my screen, all these apps. Why can't I just go in Apple Arcade, see my library of games I've downloaded and play in there? It's kind of like, when you get those like packaged games like Pac-Man and Pac-Man 2 and all those, Dig Dug and stuff. They all come in that one game system and you can just switch between every game. I think Apple Arcade should do that.
Yeah, I see that next year. I think that they don't know what they have yet with it. And once they build a library of games up, that absolutely would make the most sense. Because then you're going to have 10 Apple Arcade games all over the place. And it would be so much easier to go into the one app. The only thing is that, would you be able to play more than one game at a time? If you wanted to switch between them. It's a small thing, but I'm thinking that way.
Yeah, it's a small thing, but why would you want to do that?
I don't know. People do that, man. Shut up. That's Apple Arcade. I definitely tell you to try it out and download the Hot Lava game. I think that's the one that I like the most. As far as Apple Watch goes, I really didn't hear too much about Apple Watch as far as people getting feedback for it. Really, to me, I think since Series 4 has been discounted now because everywhere you go now, they're going to discount it. That might be the better thing to do.
Yeah, I had the Series 4. I upgraded the new WatchOS 5. I like some of the new interfaces. They changed the app drawer, which is kind of cool. It's bigger text now. They have this new app called Noise, which pings you if the environment has noise that will actually hurt or damage your ears. So I wonder how that's going to work in concerts. Yeah, I mean, the player on it, the Now Playing app, it looks different. You're allowed to do a couple more things on it. But other than that, it's nothing too crazy. I still haven't seen the calculator app come up in my control center yet.
I have it.
So I don't think that's pushed yet.
No, I don't know if it's a control center, but it definitely is. The calculator app is in there, and I did use that with. That's pretty cool. And I haven't used voice memos yet. I have to try that and see how that sounds. But I haven't done too much in there. I did go in the app store.
Oh, here's the calculator.
But I wasn't impressed with the apps so far. Nothing I would use.
You can actually now do radio on the watch, which is cool. I listen to a lot of Yankee games on the radio, so that's really cool for me. I can just plug in my AirPods and listen from my watch because you can't do that from your phone.
I had to catch up on a little bit more on what my watch can do. I'm just not as useful to it. I do listen to my podcast on my watch and some of my music from there. I wish SiriusXM would have an app on there. Maybe I'll tell him to go do that when I get to work.
Knock on the CEO's door.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that is everything that is going on right now with the launch, and I thought so far it looks like it's a tremendous success. People, I think, are reacting a lot more favorably to the iPhone 11, the iPhone 11 Pro over, I think, last year, except for like the 10R. I think that got a lot of great reviews because of the amount of money it was. Other than that, I think this year has been good. I think it's better, and not a lot of people thought this would be better.
I was just gonna say that a lot of people were gonna be down on it, almost gonna be they called it like a stepping stone launch, where the iPhone 12 is just gonna be so much better. And this is kind of just the in between, but no, people are loving this device.
Yep,
you gotta think about it. We make fun of it, but it is the most powerful iPhone ever made.
Thank you, Tim Cook.
But it really is. You got to think about it. It's the
really
most powerful
is.
phone that's out there.
It's the most powerful phone in the universe. So we're going to talk a little bit about AppleCare and some of the pricing, just in case if you're going to go into an Apple store and you have something that's broken or out of warranty or needs a fix, you are now going to be here listening to us, the resource for everything that you need for AppleCare Plus.
I was told by AppleCare that I could walk in the store and get the part.
All right, buddy, we are back here for another great segment, and it's all about AppleCare Plus. So I read an article during the week that kind of bashed AppleCare Plus, and that the amount of money that you pay for it, especially if you bought like 4 products at the same time, it would equal close to almost $1,000 if you got AppleCare on your Mac, your iPhone, your iPad Pro. And really, they're kind of like downgrading what AppleCare was. Now, from a Genius perspective, we love AppleCare. Why? Because it makes the conversation extremely easy when people run into very difficult situations. And that's what you need to be prepared for. You can't go into this saying, I'm wasting my money. No, you're protecting yourself. You want to make sure that if something happens to this device, that what you paid for it, that you get something back in return. So AppleCare Plus, there's a couple ways that you could buy AppleCare Plus. Now, the easiest way is buying it at the time that you are buying your product. Now, if you don't, you have 60 days to get AppleCare Plus. Now, if you didn't buy from Apple directly, you can call Apple and you can still buy it. You can still purchase it at an Apple store or purchase it online. Hell, even refurbished products get the option with AppleCare. A lot of people don't know that, Tim.
Yeah. Let's say you buy an Apple product and you have the 60 days to decide if you want the AppleCare. Say you decide in the 60th day to buy the AppleCare. The AppleCare doesn't start on that 60th day, and now you have it from that 60 day on to the 2 years. It starts from the date of the purchase. So whether or not you wait and you be like, oh yeah, now I have 60-day extension on my AppleCare plan. No, that's not true. It's from the date of purchase of the device.
Correct. Thank you for pointing that out, Tim. There is a website where you can check your support coverage for AppleCare so you know how long you have it. In fact, if you go to, on a Mac, like About This Mac, and you go to the service section, there's a section there called Check My Service and Support Coverage Status. So you can actually look it up right there. Also, there's a button there that says Show My Service and Repair Options. That would be nice to have on the actual phone. In fact, now on iOS 13, you could see what your coverage is. I don't know if you know that, Tim.
I did.
All right, yeah. See, I have AppleCare expires on 12/4/2020. It's built right into your phone, which is awesome. So I think that's a great added bonus because a lot of times you didn't know how to look it up. It was very difficult. So there's many ways you can get help. So, of course, is the retail store. You could drop it off at a UPS store because remember, Apple over the phone will have a repair ID and they will ship you a box directly free. You could go to a Best Buy now. Remember that? We talked about that. You go to Best Buy to get all this. There's even, sometimes, they'll even send you the parts themselves.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's a
Like
very
what?
Well, it says it right here on the website that if the problem is relatively small, Apple sometimes just sends you the part, like a new phone charger or an Apple TV remote.
Oh, okay. We could do that.
Yeah, we
that
could
makes
do that.
sense.
Right. Hey, you're gonna fix your battery on your iPhone.
Hey, here's the battery.
Also, Apple started last year. AppleCare Plus, you can now pay over a 24-month period. You do not have to buy that straight up front. That was a big thing too, because, for example, for MacBook Pro, it is up to $349 to pay for it. Now you can pay monthly with AppleCare Plus, so that's a great thing. One of the other perks about having AppleCare Plus is the express replacement service. For your iPhone, iPad, or Apple Watch, when you use express replacement, they send you the device before you send it back. A lot of people don't know that. Now, how does that work? Well, typically with express replacements, it has to be a broken device. So like a cracked screen, water damage, things that are very obvious that don't require you to go through all the hassle of asking questions or trying to figure out what the problem is. So I would recommend that if you are in a situation and you need to get your phone sent to you immediately, you have no way to get to an Apple store, use your AppleCare Plus online, and they will ship you usually overnight.
Yeah, that's great. I remember how quick it was to get my Apple Watch fixed. That was almost 2 days. It was wild.
Yeah, it's quick. See, that's awesome. Now, this is a very, very good little tip. What happens if you sell your Apple product, but you still have AppleCare on it? Well, there's two things you can do. One is you could transfer the AppleCare plan to the other provider, or what a lot of people don't know is you can prorate your money back that you didn't use.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Is that
so? No, sir. It's a very small hidden thing. So if you call Apple, let's say you sell your Mac in 1 year, and you still have 2 years of AppleCare, you have the option to go to Apple over the phone, and they will prorate you what you didn't use.
Wow. I wonder how that pricing structure works out.
When I did it one time, it evens out to basically what I didn't use.
Okay.
And I didn't use any of the coverage either, so I don't know if it's different if you used it. I would assume if you've already used something that you probably don't get that back. I guess it depends on the situation. Now, AppleCare also last year started to cover loss and theft. There is a special AppleCare plan that will help you with theft or loss, but it's only for the iPhone. And it allows 2 incidents of accidental damage, theft, or loss coverage. Now, obviously...
And it's more expensive.
Yes, it is. Now, carriers have been doing this for a long time, but they work with a company called Assurion, which is the biggest piece of crap on earth.
Agreed.
Assurion will send you broken phones. They will send you phones with modified screens and batteries. They're definitely used on most occasions. Assurion is a horrible company. And the fact that some of the carriers are starting to use AppleCare Plus instead of Assurion is the right thing to do. So that is something T-Mobile is doing. I believe Sprint does that.
Oh, wow.
So those two companies, when they sell you the option to get a protection plan, they are offering you AppleCare Plus, because in our application that we used at the Apple Store, you could tell what was bought at Apple and what was bought by the carrier.
The different pricing Will was talking about from the AppleCare Plus with theft and loss, and then the regular AppleCare Plus. For the iPhone 7 and 8, it's $129 and $199 for the theft and loss. For the iPhone 7 Plus and 8 Plus, it's $149 for the regular AppleCare and $249 for AppleCare Plus with the theft and loss. iPhone 11 and iPhone XR is $149 for the AppleCare Plus and $249 for the AppleCare Plus with theft and loss. And for the iPhone XS, XS Max, 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max is $199 for the AppleCare Plus and $299 for the AppleCare Plus with theft and loss.
Correct. And remember, that is 2 years of coverage when you do that. And if you are part of the iPhone upgrade program, that is already included in your cost. There's no discount. It's included in there. So what does AppleCare Plus cover? So let's talk about really more so accidental things, because that to me I think is more important. Obviously, if there's something that goes wrong with your iPhone and the Genius Tech determines it's a hardware problem, and I'm preferencing a hardware problem, do not go into an Apple store and say, oh, my Wi-Fi not working, but it works perfectly fine. Oh, it doesn't work at home. Oh, well, it's working here. It's a pain in the ass when customers think that they have a hardware problem, when in reality they just need to start their phone from brand new. Like right now, dealing with my sound problem on my phone, I just got to set up as new. But someone would walk into the Apple store and say, oh, it's not as loud. And they expect a whole new phone for that. Well, guess what, moron? If you restore from the backup, you're going to have the same problem on the new phone. And that's something you do not want to happen, because then the fate of your product is even worse. If we keep giving you phones that just keep having the same problem over and over, it's just software. Yeah. Or it's environmental. Shut up, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. So let's talk about the damage of the screen. So if you have damage to the screen, it is $29 to change that screen. Tim, do you remember the price if you don't have AppleCare on an iPhone 11 Pro or 10s, what that cost is?
No.
Take a guess.
Well,
take a guess.
Well,
okay,
I'll take an educated guess.
Okay.
From what it costs the iPhone 10 when I worked there, it was $579 to replace.
That's for the whole phone. That's the whole phone. I'm talking about just the screen.
Oh, $279.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim is correct. He got the right answer.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's right. So if you have an iPhone 10s, 10, or an iPhone Pro, it is $279 to change that screen. Do you remember the max? What do you think the max price is?
I don't remember because there wasn't a max when I worked there.
Well, it is $329 to change that screen.
That's a lot of money.
That's $300 difference if you don't have AppleCare. So what that just tells you right there, one accidental damage is already cheaper than having it happen without it. And you get one more additional coverage. How does that not make sense?
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. In 2 years, you're going to be stupid and drop your phone. And if you break it and you're going to pay that amount of money, that's crazy. Now, 10R and iPhone 11, it is $199 for that. And then for iPhone 8 and 7 Plus, it's $169. iPhone 8 and iPhone 7, $149. That's why the prices are a little cheaper for that. And for whatever reason, if you still have an iPhone 6, it was $129, which actually wasn't bad for the time. But now you're talking about a $1,000 phone that you have to pay $279 for if you don't have that. That's crazy.
Like Will said, being able to pay it monthly is huge. Makes it so much. It makes it so easy to buy.
Agreed. Now, also, if you're going to get a battery repair, if you're in warranty with AppleCare Plus, how much does that cost, Tim?
Free. Haha.
Yeah. No, it's free, Tim. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. It has
that's right. But $29
Tim.
for the screen.
They don't pay anything for the battery.
Sorry, I've been out of the game for a while.
Yes. Oh God. Literally, you can just go to apple.com. Everything I'm reading is from apple.com, folks. And then out of warranty pricing is $69 for all the new phones, and the older phones are $49. Now let's talk about Apple Watch. Series 5 is $299. Series 5 with aluminum is $349. And then if you have stainless steel, $399. Titanium, $499. Oh God, I hope this doesn't happen. Apple Watch Edition,
that's
$800.
That's without AppleCare, right?
That's without AppleCare.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's crazy. Now, by the way, they can't fix those. Like, that's it. Once something happens to that watch, the whole watch has got to be fixed. The AppleCare service fee for cracked screens on Apple Watch or Apple Nike is $69, and a Hermes and Watch Edition is $79. So it makes total sense to get AppleCare for that.
Yeah, so then you're really looking at 69 plus, 79. That's math. $140, right?
Sure.
$140 you're spending versus spending $200, $300. It's almost half the price.
Correct. Now let's talk about iPad. Let's say right now you have the iPad Pro 11-inch. Now, me and you, I didn't remember the price. I looked it up right now. Tim, out of warranty cost, how much is it going to be if you crack that screen? Because remember, iPads cannot have screen replacements, folks. I don't care what place you go to that claims they can do it. Trust me, they can't do it. So on the iPad Pro 11-inch, guess how much out of warranty that costs?
$399.
Nope, $499.
Dang it!
Yeah. So and remember, that's it with a cracked screen. So if you crack your screen, you are done. All right. Now the most expensive iPad Pro, the 12.9-inch, third generation. How much does it cost, Tim?
$699.
Very close, $649.
Ah!
And guess what, guys? If you have AppleCare Plus on this, no matter which device it is, it's $49 for 2 accidental damage coverages.
Yeah, that is wild.
Now, last thing is if your iPad battery is out, if you have a problem with that, in warranty or with AppleCare, of course, you pay nothing. Out of warranty, this is actually very generous, $99. So if your battery is determined to be unhealthy, $99 to change the iPad out. That ain't bad at all. I would do that, totally. That's just an explanation of all the mobile devices. Now, Mac devices, you will not see the price online. But I'm going to tell you what they are. So, pretty much the last time that I was at that store, any MacBook Air that requires a logic board repair was $475 to repair. And that's a pricing, we do something called tier pricing, which means that for whatever level of a problem that you have a flat fee of what that costs. So let's say that the Mac doesn't turn on, and they had to change the screen, they had to change the logic board, they had to change the battery, they had to change the top case, then all of that equals one price. And by the way, every single thing gets a 90-day warranty on the product unless you have AppleCare to extend it. So you have to think about it. Now, everyone's mad about that. People don't like 90-day warranties. They think that's not enough. I think it's enough. That's enough time to determine that your product is working normally.
Yep.
It's so different with tires.
Yeah.
You have a certain amount of warranty on new tires. They're not going to cover it forever. A 15-inch MacBook Pro, you're looking close to $800 to fix that.
That's ridiculous.
Now, think about liquid damage, okay? Now, if you have AppleCare Plus, you pay $299 for any kind of liquid damage on your Mac, which means that basically your Mac is going to be rebuilt for $299.
Mm-hmm.
If you have screen damage, it's $99 to do that.
Which is a really good, really great price.
I never thought that in the history of Apple that they would come out with that. That they would come out with an AppleCare Plus plan. It's not everywhere, by the way. This is only like in the U.S. and I think like Canada. It's not everywhere to get AppleCare Plus, but this is like the worst possible scenario, and it happens a lot, by the way. It happens a lot.
What are you referring to?
Liquid damage.
Oh, liquid damage. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the screen cracks. I was like, "What? Will? Did you work at Apple?" But no, yes. Being from the Genius.
Are you okay, Tim? Are you like falling asleep?
Being from the Genius admin side of it, there was a lot of computers with liquid damage because I would see all of the inside photos of the devices and have to explain to the customers, how it got damaged, what could have happened, which parts are damaged, what it's affecting in the computer overall. So liquid damage was a very, very popular problem with the customers' products.
I will tell you, there are places that try to fix the logic board liquid damage in their stores. Now, so they'll actually go on the logic board and they'll actually seal any of the liquid damage and repair the actual board themselves. That's great. The problem is, I don't know what kind of guarantee they give with that.
And it's got to be expensive.
Well, that's the thing. You have to find out what the price is. Is there a way to fix the logic board with liquid damage? Yes. We don't have to change the whole board, but Apple is not going to take that risk.
Right.
What if they just soldered pieces on there? If they desoldered the board, put new parts on there, what if they missed a spot?
Yeah, right.
So absolutely, like in New York City, there is plenty of places to go and do that. But you have to understand, Apple is not going to do that. If you have accidental damage due to liquid contact, 13-inch laptops, 12-inch laptops, $755.
Whew.
That's pretty crazy.
Price. Yeah.
That's a steep price. Oh, it's going to get better. Tim, do you remember 15-inch laptops? How much it costs for out of warranty?
I do not.
Get ready for this number, everybody, and write it down. $1,250. And by the way, that is not including tax.
Oh my God. That's buying a whole new computer.
So for $349, not a bad deal right now when you really think about it.
Not at all.
Because people, dude, save your $3,000 to $2,000 investment by putting $349 extra on it.
Yep.
It makes. And by the way, if you're a college student, you get a discount on that too.
To be honest, I think that AppleCare Plus should be built into the price for college students. Like when you do the whole college promotion during the summertime, I think the AppleCare Plus should be built in.
Well, that's the job of a salesman to do that, because to me, it's no different than buying warranties at in a car dealership. Like you want to buy a tire warranty, that's their job, is to explain something like this. That's why I think geniuses working in the front of the store, because to explain to someone, hey, if your child is a moron and decides to put their iced tea next to their laptop, and they do, by the way, and they put liquid on that board, that's how much they have to pay if they don't have AppleCare. $299 sounds like a really good deal compared to $1,250 or even $755. Because think about it, $249 plus $299 is already less than what that costs one time.
Yep.
And you get another time in case it happens again. Or if you do screen damage, $475 to change those screens, those Retina screens.
But instead of
$99.
Yeah.
Folks, it makes absolutely no sense not to get AppleCare. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make any... Don't be dumb. Get AppleCare. So whatever this article I read, they're dumb. And AppleCare is truly a good value for what you are getting out of it. Please don't be dumb. Make your Apple experience great, because when you get that kind of damage and you hear a $299 price or a $99 price, you're going to feel a lot better. But when you hear $755 and $1,300, forget it. You're not going to be happy. Or even for your iPhone screen, $279 for like a 7. How big is this screen? 7 inches of glass.
6.1 inches. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So I hope that educates you guys.
Wait, Will.
What?
Forget about the most important AppleCare protection plan. The
For Apple TV?
Protection plan for Apple TV. Come on,
guys, do not buy that. Do not buy that. All right, so. Thank you guys for joining us.
Wait, let's do a little rendition. I'm gonna just say yes or no to my questions. Do I buy AppleCare for an iPhone?
Yes.
Do I buy AppleCare for a Mac?
Yes.
Do I buy AppleCare for an iPad?
Yes.
Do I buy it for an Apple TV?
No.
Do I buy it for my iPod?
No.
Okay. I would agree with everything.
Apple Watch.
Oh, sorry. Would you buy it for your Apple Watch?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree with everything besides... No, I would agree with everything because I think. No,
I was about to say you want to disagree with any of those?
Yeah, I think the most important one for me as a personal user is the iPhone and Apple Watch. The Apple Watch because it's so inexpensive and you hit your wrist for a person that wears it on a wearable. You hit your wrist everywhere, so the AppleCare is a no-brainer. And then for the iPhone, if you have an OLED display. We've talked about the cost for replacing those displays without AppleCare. It's ridiculous, so you got to buy it.
Yep. All right, guys, so thank you very much for joining us for this week. Now, a new contest. I wanted to wait till the very end of the episode to surprise you. If you go on iTunes and you leave us a review and you send us to our email at thinkdifferentpod@gmail.com, you will get a $10 iTunes gift card. So remember to make sure you are leaving a review for our site. Tim, it's been a great week. We got to go to sleep, and the Cowboys are going to move on to 4-0 this Sunday. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day. And Tim, go to bed.
Peace out. What was that?